Well, hello there. I'm Eileen from Northern Light Tarot. Welcome to my channel. So, I'm going to head on into the reading in a couple of minutes. So, you will find the timestamps underneath if you'd prefer to head straight on into the reading. However, what I do want to do, first of all, is give you sort of an update as to what's been happening with me. Many of you who do follow me do know that back in November 2023, I did fracture my spine. Initially, I was sort of sent home from hospital after the fall down the stairs, being told there was no fractures at all. However, in the end, it's taken a while to get to this point, but now it's understood that there wasn't just one fracture, there was three fractures right on top of each other, T10, T11, and T12. Now, a lot of you will have noticed that since that time, how often I manage to upload here has significantly reduced. And especially, I think, since this January, people may have noticed, that you're not being suggested my videos so much because that's the way the algorithm works. If I used to upload like 3 times a week, but especially since January of this year, and the previous couple of years as well, I guess. I've just not been consistent, unfortunately, because of everything that's been going on with my spine, and my other neurological symptoms that I've, developed alongside, though slightly before my spine as well. So what I wanted to do was just explain to you really why I have been gone quite a lot since January. I am very sorry. I am really hoping to be uploading much more regularly to you, but it's been a bit of a whirlwind since January, let's put it that way. I'm going to move on to the part to do with my spine and my neurological system, my neurological symptoms. In a couple of minutes. But first of all, I did want to tell you that for those of you who don't know, my daughter who lives with me, her retina spontaneously detached on December the 29th of last year. And so, that in itself has been, quite a difficult time period, because for a lot of you may not know that yes, there's an operation you know, to operate on a retinal detachment in the eye. However, that's not where the sort of surgery ends in some way, or the recovery ends. Basically, what happens is for a lot of people, they will have a vitrectomy. And so my daughter had to be face down 16 hours a day in like a head frame kind of thing, for about a week it was. So during that time period, even though I was having, massive issues with my legs, having been diagnosed with a neurological condition, which I really don't feel that I have. Basically, that was really, really such a really difficult time period for both me and my daughter. However, as every mother does, and we all know it, we pushed through, and I was able to do everything that she needed to be done for her during that time period. So then she was effectively sort of, I guess, legally, for all intents and purposes, she was technically blind for a time period, because with a gas bubble in one eye, when you look forwards, your vision is completely obscured, and you're not supposed you can't wear an eye patch to make life easier. And that gas bubble took 3 months to dissipate. So January, February, March were really, really tough. Now, on top of that, all know my cat Brandon. He unfortunately passed away. I think it was the end of January. It was the end of January he passed away. So I was in the middle of all of this with my daughter. And then my cat, he was 20. He'd had a good innings. But again, that did take it out of me somewhat, I have to say. And then, uh, something clicked inside my mind on February the 10th. It had been there for a while that there must be something causing all of my neurological symptoms. Because, as I say, at times I've been in a wheelchair. A lot of time I've been in a wheelchair, actually, and or my mobility scooter. I've got like four. I've got a rollator, I've got a wheelchair, I've got an electric wheelchair, and I've got a mobility scooter. And the sensory symptoms have been absolutely, so intense the last 3 years. I was obviously always questioning, I've got three spinal fractures. Could it be that? However, I didn't even find out until recently that there were three spinal fractures. For quite a lot of this time, I was told it was just one, and that it could not be causing my neurological symptoms. So, this is a very long story. I'm going to try and explain it as best I can. But on February the 10th of this year, I looked at really what had been building, which was that I knew that there was something else. It wasn't this neurological condition. I knew that it wasn't that. And so I looked at what I was ingesting, if you see what I mean. And I realized that 4 years ago, I'd been put on a medication for high blood pressure in an A&E department that was under enormous strain at the time. I was told that my blood pressure was so high that I should be admitted, but there was no beds for 3 days. So the doctor decided to put me on not the first line choice of blood pressure medication for somebody my age, but that it was going to work fast. It would obviously relieve the pressure upon me, upon the NHS. If it works, we'll just send you home. But there'll be kind of like no going back from this medication. Once you're on it, you're on it. And I'd attended twice over 48 hours, and I'd been there for hours upon hours. By now, I was so tired. I just agreed. They kept me there. It did work because it is the kind of blood pressure that works fast. You see, blood pressure medication that works fast. So it worked. It will work because that's what it does. It's one of these ones that doesn't need to be tailored over days and weeks so that you get the levels right. It just works instantly. It's a calcium channel blocker. So I was discharged from the hospital on that medication and literally left on it for 4 years. Now, prior to even fracturing my spine, I had so I fractured my spine in November 2023. All of that year, from May up until November, I'd had many neurological symptoms, and I was literally just told, we're just gonna refer you to neurology. That's what we're gonna do. At no point did anybody look at my medication list, even though I'd told them it. So now I realise that it was a perfect storm, that my neurological symptoms started in May of 2023. Then I fell down the stairs, and I do have to say that I'd had enormous bouts of vertigo and double vision in the 2 to 3 weeks prior to me actually falling down the stairs. So, I guess we'll never know if that's related, why I lost my balance. We'll never know. And so, where am I up to? So, yeah. So basically, then fell down the stairs, discharged, told no fractures. Then in August 2024, I was told that I had this neurological condition called FND. You look it up. And I resisted this diagnosis completely. To be perfectly honest, I did. In the end, I did somewhat accept it, except that there was always a part of me that just couldn't accept it. And so, as I say, something just sort of clicked in February of 2026. Having been on this medication for literally 4 years, I stopped taking it. I just said to myself, I am not going to take this medication anymore. And within days, my symptoms of the past 4 years, well, 3 years, literally massively started to dissipate. Like I can, there's been a few fluctuations, which is to be expected when you've got a toxicity from a calcium channel blocker. However, overwhelmingly since February, March, April, May, June, I would say that I'm 90% better. Absolutely 90% better. Oh my goodness, do you know how it feels to be able to rely on my legs again? It's unbelievable. Because I thought that this was the rest of my life, that I was discharged with this condition and told that this is it. This is your life. There is no cure. This is the rest of your life. And I was also discharged with no help. Zero. I had bladder symptoms. I had bowel symptoms. I spent a lot of my life lying down in bed. And then when I did try to do something, it would try and walk. It would destroy me so much that I would then end up in the electric wheelchair or the mobility scooter. The sensory symptoms were literally insane. I felt like I had a permanent electric shock running through the lower half of my body. It was literally like a low voltage electricity running through my body. They call it myoclonus, so like electric jolts of electricity like running through your limbs, and even my neck would be sort of jolting from side to side, and my gait, the way I walk, was completely messed up. It was absolutely horrific, to say the least, and I'm just touching on the symptoms now. Since February, like 90% of these symptoms have dissipated, like absolutely dissipated. So I know that that's what caused, it was a perfect storm, as I say. There was always the question mark over in my mind. Was it because of 3 missed spinal fractures? Because I was in excruciating pain for 6 to 9 months with the missed spinal fractures. But as I say, I had some mounting sensory symptoms even beforehand, mounting neurological symptoms even beforehand. So that's where I'm up to. And I have to say, I do feel that a lot of my issues, yes, the NHS is under strain, but Wes Streeting has even said it. He's doing something about it now in the UK, which is that medical misogyny is rife, okay, in the United Kingdom. And I'm sure it is everywhere else as well. But if anybody had just listened to me and paid attention and done their jobs, really, I feel, then they could have done a de-challenge on the medication I was on. And instead, they decided to diagnose me with a functional neurological disorder. Go look it up. Yeah, and maybe you'll understand why I'm feeling so perplexed right now. Because basically, my livelihood is pretty much destroyed. You'll see, if you go back 3 years ago, you'll see the views I was getting here on YouTube, and take a look now. It speaks volumes. And, specifically, even in the past, 2 months, I've had a very, very distasteful interaction, which really does highlight medical misogyny. I can't really speak of it right now. That would probably be litigious. However, what I will say is that medical misogyny is real. And the only way I can compare it actually for myself is to, um, you know, imagine somebody who's higher in status than you, who feels like they have all of the power. There's a power dynamic here at play. And I've been on the receiving end of that. Okay. I do have proof, however. But what I will say is that this has happened to me before. In a power dynamic where the person who's misogynizing you, let's put it that way, though I feel it goes beyond that, is thinking they can do exactly what they want because they are the one who will be believed. This actual exact thing, though nothing to do with the NHS, did actually happen to me about 15 years ago now. However, I will say, well, at least that person went to prison for what they did to me and others. I was the first person to go to the police. So what I will say is what this has done, what's happened in the last 2 months, has unfortunately brought up what happened to me in the past. And there's a sense of powerlessness that you feel that should never, ever happen. And I intend to take every course of action open and available to me. Just want to make that clear. So that is what has happened over the past years and months, and especially since January. It's been a roller coaster. So now, thank you so much for bearing with me for that update. And I do really want to apologize that I haven't been uploading as regularly as I would like to, but I'm really hoping now that all of that can change. And I would just say, please, 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 if you're here, just please give this reading a thumbs up. And let's get that algorithm to wake up and say, hey, Northern Light Tarot's back. That would be absolutely fantastic. So, and also let me know what's happened to you in the past as regards, the power dynamics in your life, and how did you handle it? That'd be really interesting to know, and it's always good to share your experiences as well. It can help empower other women. Okay. So now, having said that, let's go ahead with this reading. So now, the good thing, the way I've got this set up, is that I can change the screens right now so that you're going to have a real close-up view of the cards. Okay, so let's do that first of all. So here we go. As I say, the title of this reading is, what are his true feelings, thoughts, and intentions towards you? So I'm going to go back to old style, the way I always did my readings, okay? Which is, well, a lot of the time anyway, which is that I don't pre-lay out the cards. I like to see just what comes through, okay? And I also like to do a Celtic cross reading. I have to say that it's one of my all-time favorites. So that's what we're going to do here. So first of all, please picture your person inside your mind, imagine them, and then choose between one of these 3 sets of cards here. This is set of cards number 1. This is set of cards number 2. And this is set of cards number 3. So I'll just give you a moment now. Okay, so let's first of all place aside set of cards number 2 and this set of cards number 3, so that we can first of all go ahead with this set of cards number 1. What are their true feelings, thoughts, and intentions towards you? So let's go ahead and shuffle this deck several times. Okay, so let's place these cards down. So, this card represents this question, your person. The crossing card, or help or hinder card, subconscious hidden energies, past or near past, external energies, future or near future, feelings, environment, hopes, wishes, and fears, and the outcome card, never ever to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. And I'm going to place this here and this here because we'll take some letters and some symbols a little bit later. So let's take a look. Oh, well, I like this. The first card out. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is the card of fate. It's the card of destiny. It tells me that they're ready to launch into this. Okay, there is something that they're feeling here that is unmistakable. It's undeniable. They see that they are destined to literally be with you. And this can also be about the way that they feel about this, that however they met you, from the moment they met you, that like literally, I know it sounds cliche, but the stars aligned. There's like this energy that they just have never felt like this before until they met you. And they will never feel this way again since they met you. It's very profound. Okay. Let's take this crossing card. Ooh, so the crossing card is the help or hinder card. Okay, so now I feel this is what drives them. Okay, like because of the Wheel of Fortune, they feel very, very driven to, like, there's something here about wanting to just stand face to face with you and tell you of their desires for you, because it's also extremely passionate. Okay, we could have some Leo, Aries, and Sag in the mix here. Is that you? Is that them? Let's take a look at this past position. Okay, Eight of Swords. So now, what's bursting forwards? Okay, because what I'm getting here is from the moment they laid eyes on you, they have never been able to stop thinking of you. Now, there is this element of keeping it all inside. It's almost like, is there a reason that it has to be an obsession? I'll just pose that question to you, okay? Because the Eight of Swords is literally like tells me that all they're doing is thinking about you. But in the past, and even perhaps now, they have not been able to express this. And what is the reason for that? Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So the hidden energies, the barriers, the boundaries, whether real or perceived. The Emperor energy. Let's take some more here. Oh my goodness. There's a reason they are pushing this all down, okay? Is it because it's just so serious? The Ace of Cups is about the absolute offer of true deep love and commitment. And it's all here within them. So, like, they can be pushing it down because it makes them too vulnerable, especially with this Emperor. Or there is something that prevents them right now from telling you all of this. Okay? The King of Wands. So now there's like an internal flow, a movement deep within them. It rises and then it falls. It rises and falls. Like the Emperor is about the barrier, the boundary, but the King of Wands is the actual opposite of that. The King of Wands is about really wanting to take the action here and like be literally in charge of their life. Okay? Are they? For some of you, you work with them or you worked with them. I do get that. They miss you. 5 of Cups. There could be a distance here between you two. There could have been a split. But they want to travel to you. There's a lot of emotion here. A lot of emotion. Future, oh, they do want to travel to you. The 2 of Wands. No matter the distance, the time, they can't. They don't want to escape you. There's always this foot in the past because that's the footprint of like you. But the thing is that they're planning to travel to you. Okay? That's what this 2 of Wands is. Absolutely. The Magician. Manifestation. So we know the feelings. We know the thoughts. And the intention is to literally make this happen. Oh, yes. The 2 of Wands. It is to make this happen. You know, we literally, I'm just going to change the screen here. We cannot deny this energy. The 2 of Cups and the Magician. This is powerful, powerful energy. I have to say, a really powerful energy. The 2 of Cups can also be about healing differences and conflict. The environment, decision time, what needs to change in their environment. They need to get on this horse and choose the right path, and they know it. And they need to bring the King of Wands firmly into play here. They really desperately want to do whatever it takes in the 3D. This is hopes, wishes, and fears. So there's the hope that this can happen. There is the fear that for whatever reason it can't. But the overwhelming energy here is to make this happen, to make it come to fruition. What I want to do now is take some letters, symbols, then we'll go on to the final card. I do want to let you know, I do offer private readings, all of the details below. I do go live twice a week. You can check it, it'll be upcoming. My Etsy reviews will be down in the description box also. So having said all of that, let's go ahead and let's take some letters. Okay, so we have L, O, R, R, W, P, D, E, T, and V. So take a look at those letters. Pause for a moment. See if any initials, names, words, jump out for you. Okay? Now I'm going to take some symbols here Oh, we have a putty cat. We have music. And we have love. Again, how does this relate to your situation? Okay, so now I'm going to take this final card. Very important to note, never to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. So oh my goodness, we got the Ten of Cups. I love this reading. I love it. They love you. That is so clear. That is so clear. If this on any level, resonates for you, that's wonderful, because it just tells me that they're completely in love with you and they miss you and they just want to be with you. Okay? Absolutely. So if you found this reading helpful, so grateful for that thumbs up. Now I'm going to move on to set of cards number 2. Okay. So right now, I am going to move on to this set of cards number 2. What are the true thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you? So let's go ahead and first of all shuffle this deck several times. Okay. So this card represents this question, your person, the crossing card or help or hinder card, subconscious hidden energies, past or near past, external energies, future or near future, feelings, environment, hopes, wishes and fears, and the outcome card, never ever to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. So let's go ahead now. Okay, so the Tower energy. Okay, we can't mess around with the Tower energy, okay? I do believe myself there are no bad cards in tarot. There are cards that represent different types of intensity, okay? And they're all here for a reason, okay? So now the Tower represents, it can represent an ending, yes. It can represent a massive acknowledgement inside of the mind that's, so things have been building and building. It represents actually, yes, an ending, but a transformation. So we need to go deeper into the true sort of meaning of this. And look, the first card out, Page of Cups. Page of Cups going back to the past. So I see here, this may not be for everybody, but I do see immediately like a split or a lost opportunity, a chance never taken, because, this Page of Cups is having a Tower moment, and it's because they're looking back at you and the fact that they wanted to send an unconditional message of love to you, okay? Could be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, don't need to be. Person could be younger than you, though don't need to be. These are all energies. Let's take a look at this past. Okay, Two of Swords, yeah. So Two of Swords is about a tough decision. Maybe go back and also take a look at set of cards number 1, because we have a journey, I think, developing here. So Two of Swords, tough decisions. What I'm getting here is regret over a decision, or a decision that never got made. Okay? Take it as it resonates. Yeah. The crossing card, help or hinder card. I feel like that there's a realization here that the sun is missing from the life. Like, you are the sun, the energy, the happiness. Okay, I'm getting a lot of that coming through here. Let's see. Yeah, so in the hidden is the untrodden path, the fear of the road ahead. So that there's some kind of fear involved here as well. It has to be said. Let's take another. Ending cycles. Yeah. There is something here about the decision that wasn't made, or was made. What happened correct? I feel here that they know that it wasn't. Okay? Whatever they did or failed to do, it was wrong. External energy. This is very, very interesting. The Three of Wands, the actual traveler energy. They want to travel to you. This does relate to set of cards number 2 in the forward position. Set of cards number 1 in the forward position. In set of cards number 1, I'm pretty sure we had the Two of Wands there with the Magician. And now in the external energy, we've got the 3. This is all about making things the way that they should be. This is all about the fact that for them, this connection, they don't want to escape it. It's inescapable. There's regret here. And they want to travel to you. To the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, this is very serious, what their feelings for you. Very, very serious. They want to be with you for the long term. We've got the Ten of Pentacles in the forward position. Things, I feel could happen here going forwards. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, the retirement energy. Six of Wands, an engagement, an announcement, a celebration, together with the Ten of Pentacles. The feelings, stability, churches, wanting to cement and secure this connection with you. That's in their feelings. Their environment, they miss you. There's very much something coming through for set of cards number 1 and now this set of cards number 2 about you two being apart presently. But you're still very, very attached on an energetic, emotional level. I'm even getting something about a long distance relationship here that's had its ups and downs. So take that into account also. Hopes, wishes, and fears. Oh my goodness. What's this? This was certainly in set of cards number 1. I think it was in the same place. Time to make the choice and the decision. It's very sort of unstable yet excitable energy I'm feeling here. Okay, let's now take some letters. We have T, U, V, E, I, R, N, T, E, another E, an S, an I, and a K. So I will leave you to, perhaps just pause the reading for a moment so that you can look at all of these letters and see how they relate, as in words, initials, names. And now I'm going to take some symbols. Oh, we have quite a few here. We have a plane, travel. We have a bell. I know it's a Christmas bell, but with that 6 of Wands, it could be a church bell. We have a little shell, and the sun is here. Oh no, sunflower and the sun, yeah. And music. I'm actually seeing a wedding. I'm literally seeing a wedding here coming through. And honeymoon. And the work that's involved, but there's an absolute willingness coming through there. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the final card now. Before I do, please give this reading a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I also offer private readings, all of the details below. Etsy reviews, details below. I go live twice a week. Hit the notification bell and you'll know that when that is. I do live readings at very much reduced cost when I go live compared to my private readings, okay? And also, you remain anonymous. I don't read out your question. I don't read out your name. Just hit the notification bell and you'll see when I'm live. Anyway, now, having said that, I want to go ahead with this final card, never to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. So let's take a look. Oh my goodness. These cards today are off the scale. It's beautiful. We've got the 4 of Wands, okay? The ultimate celebration. And I was saying there's a celebration, there's a wedding here, and here it is, the ultimate celebration, the ultimate homecoming, the ultimate twin flame energy. I do believe that, yes, there's twin flames, yes, there's soulmates, this can all be rolled into one, and it usually is. And I see that here. I see so much love. I see so much happiness. I see hard times, but I do see the love, and I see the reunion. That's what I'm getting. Okay, if you found the reading helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to now move on to set of cards number 3. Okay. So now, let's move on to set of cards number 3. Okay, so what are their true thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you? Let's go ahead. So I'm going to shuffle this deck several times. So let's split this deck. And now place these cards down. So this card represents your person, the question. Crossing card or help or hinder card. Subconscious hidden energies, past or near past. External energies, future or near future. Feelings, environment, hopes, wishes and fears. And the outcome card, never ever to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. So let's go ahead and take a look. Secrets. Inner knowing. Really digging deep. Like there is something here regarding, like exploration. It's like there's something like undeniable in how they're feeling about you. So let's explore that further. Let's take some more for this High Priestess. Temperance. So temperance represents love that flows between these two cups, okay? It can also represent patience and a time period. It can be, about a connection that is going to take time or has been around for a time, but there is some sort of secretive kind of energy. And then we have the Emperor. Why secretive? Why? The Emperor can represent barriers, boundaries here. Let's take another. Seven of Pentacles. Frustration. They're feeling very frustrated with what they know, yet what they are faced with as regards how they feel about you. Let's take a look at this past position, the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is about, it's twin flame energy. I'm a strong believer that there is more than, we don't need to separate twin flames, soulmates. That it's like a whole spectrum of energy between two people, and it's forever evolving. Okay, that's my stance on it. I do feel that somewhere here in the past, there has been like an intense, incredible moment between you two, and they know this. And they've been longing for you for a time here. There is no doubt about this. Let's see what this crossing card is. Yes, Nine of Swords. This could be a long distance connection. What you do need to know is that they are agonizing over you. The Nine of Swords, we can't play around with it. It is the card of anxiety, sleepless nights even. They're very frustrated. There are barriers, there are boundaries, but what's very clear is the love. What is it that there's something here about wanting to go back and change time? Okay? Very strong, passionate energy. Leo, Aries, Sag. We've got energy here. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Let's continue. Yeah. Five of Wands. So what's happening right now with them? Because it's like there is chaos in their, there is some chaos that's like built up and built up and built up, and it's kind of like now it's undeniable. It's It can't be tamed any longer. This is how, and I feel like there could be, doesn't have to be like jealousies, but for some of you, like you two are together and now you're both with other people, but you never ever forgot each other. I'm getting some of that. I'm getting the workplace situation, and maybe you met once or twice in a workplace, but there's distance, and now there is this what surrounds you two that could be getting in the way of this. Okay. So going forwards, there is, a movement here, like a crescendo. The 10 of Wands means that there is a movement away from the 5 of Wands energy, and it's like a big jump. Now, the 10 of Wands, it's actually, all of the cards, some of these cards in tarot, they get like such a bad rap, really. There are no bad cards in tarot. There are intensities. And especially these 9s and 10s of swords, they are transient. They don't last for very long, because nobody can walk around with carrying these 10 heavy ones. They just can't do it. And nobody can not sleep forever. Something always comes from these intense moments, okay? In all areas of people's lives. Yes, in love, but in other areas also. There's never a glass ceiling. There's always a way through. That is a direct message from Spirit. Let's take some more. Yeah. Because fate and destiny and spirit and all of that good stuff, it steps in. Okay? So, like, in this connection, if you're feeling burdened, if they are feeling burdened, if it's all just getting too much for some reason, whatever the reason is, because there's going to be many scenarios here, just know that fate and destiny, spirit always steps in. The scenarios here are going to be very, very expansive. What I do see is a true love between you two with that temperance energy. And so, something's going to give here, because something's fated to be. I think they know this. We've got the moon with the Empress. Destiny is gonna step in, and there's gonna be a harvest. The road may be winding and difficult for a time, but what's meant to be will be, because we have the Empress energy here. It's like this was just destined. I feel their intentions are very, very strong and very powerful. There is a roller coaster on this journey. I feel like your person has, I feel like they could be even like a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, Sag. That's just for some of you, or they've got it in their chart, because I feel like they're actually they can be quite volatile at times, or this has been volatile. Okay, it's had many, many twists and turns. This is about wanting to nurture and heal that side of this connection. But I feel like they know that there's something that's got to change in their environment to make that happen. And the thing is, once we have the Tower, this is about letting go of what they always knew was not helping, okay? Which not helping this connection. This has been building and building. It can be aspects of them. It can be aspects of the environment, of their life. It's kind of like they want everything to come crashing down so that they can be with you, but they're also very scared of the consequences of when it does come crashing down. But it's been building for a while. That's what's coming through. What I'm going to do now is take some letters and some symbols, and then we'll move on to the final card, never to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. So let's go ahead now. Okay. So now we have M-I. Okay, has your person not shown you what you know about how they feel about you? You've had some kind of hints. Because the first word that gets spelled is miser. Like, what are they holding on to, especially with the Tower energy? We have L-O-A-O, another O, and an A. So, me. Oh, the way that felt that. Yeah, like, there's been certain points when they haven't considered you. It's been all me, if you see what I mean. They don't want to lose you. They love you. I'm going to take some symbols now. Oh, we got the wheel immediately. A key to a home, growth, tree of life, and I just see that as like music can be harmonizing, it can be healing. Okay. So I'm going to take this final card now. Never to be taken in the literal sense, to be interpreted. I do just want to mention that I do offer private readings. All of the details below. Check out my Etsy reviews. Details below. I go live twice a week. These readings that I do live twice a week are, they're actually really detailed, and they're at a really good price even compared to my private readings. So maybe give them a go. Just see how you feel about me as a reader. I go live twice a week. If you subscribe and hit that notification bell, you will be notified of like when I've got an upcoming. I do it a few hours before, sometimes the day before, or just drop in on the live. Yeah, and if you found this reading helpful, I'd be so grateful for that thumbs up. So now let's go ahead. Okay. Oh, and that's so interesting. We spelt miser, and then we got the Four of Pentacles. So now, and that's sitting right next to the Tower. And if you like look up, like, just read about tarot, they do say like the Four of Pentacles is like the miser of all the tarot cards, because they kind of like hold on to something that's really not in their best interests. And ultimately, here we have it. Deep down, they know exactly what's going on. So I feel like there's a realization that that's what they've been doing, because I've got the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, a realization, because then I got the Judgment, a self-rebirth here happening. Okay, so what I see here is like that they know they're getting like literal downloads here. Eight of Wands. They know that something inside of them is changing and rebirthing. And I do feel that they are, very much having personal growth that could be highly impactful. And the growths come from this connection with you. There could be, we've got these like sort of rapid turnaround cards here. There could be something about, they are volatile, but there is something about like them wanting to have an urgent conversation with you that could change everything. And I do feel that they've still got some work to do on themselves, but I do feel like that their intentions towards you are wholesome. So that's what's come through. If you found this reading helpful, I would be so grateful for that thumbs up. And if you subscribe, you will be notified of my next reading. So until next time,